You ready?
All right. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Let's begin.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thank
Hi,
you so
everyone.
much for joining us today
Yes.
on my channel. My name is Kangai and
Tabitha from Craving Yellow.
and I know many of you guys have been waiting for this to happen, for this collab to happen. It's finally happened. Here we are. I'm very excited today because we are doing a collaboration on both of our channels.
Yes.
So if you want to watch, to watch part 2 of this video, then you need to go over to Tabitha's channel on
Yes.
Craving Yellow.
Craving Yellow.
And if you're somehow stumbling upon this from Tabitha's channel, thank you so much for joining us today on my channel. Don't leave before you subscribe.
Yes,
Subscribe.
please. Okay, I see you.
Yes, please. So what we're doing today is something a little bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of discuss and go over some of the questions we've received in the past where we have been asked, okay, find Kangai or find Tabitha, I have this talent or this dream, I have this desire. How do I get from where I am to maybe where you are and even further? So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thanks for having me on your channel. My name is Tabitha, for those of you on Kangai's channel who don't know me, and I run a blog called Craving Yellow, like the color yellow, and I mainly write about hair. I love hair. The same way Kangai loves makeup, I am obsessed with natural hair. So if you want to see how I take care of my hair, what I'm kind of interested in, the products I use, be sure to check out my channel.
Yeah.
I have moved around the world with my blog. I live in America and then now I live in Australia, and I'm currently filming this in Kenya with Kangai. I have been looking forward to this forever because I've been watching Kangai's videos for the longest time. So I'm really happy we're finally doing this video.
Finally. I am also happy too.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thanks, Kangai.
So many of you have tagged both of us.
Yes.
Actually, first of all, I have to give a shout out to my friend Lucille. Because
Yes.
you are the first person who introduced me to Tabitha. And you
yes.
told, I remember you commented on one of her pictures to say that we should
We
collaborate.
should do a collaboration.
So Lucille, if you're watching this, girl,
Thank you.
this is you. Okay, let's
Let's get started. Yes.
Okay, so the first thing we wanted to start with was pretty much how we both began.
Yeah.
And do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can start. Well, I started my hair blog in 2015, and it was mainly because I was a senior in uni at the time in the US, and natural hair had always been something that I had done in the US while I studied there. I grew up in Kenya, but I was studying in the US at the time. So natural hair for me was the way in which I discovered myself as a young woman in the United States, and it was such a huge thing because growing up in Kenya, you have your hair done all the time at a salon. You have your hair done by, your mom cares for your hair. You really don't even have to think about your own hair. But then in the US, suddenly I had to think about my own hair for the very first time. So natural hair for me was a way of beginning to know myself as a young woman. But then people would tell me all the time, oh, your hair is really beautiful, what do you do for your hair care? And I said, you know what, why not start a blog? Why not start sharing my tips and my tricks, but as well as that, sharing some of the lifestyle struggles that I've gone through in the US as an international student, as an African girl. So aside from writing about hair, I also write about, love in the US, or dating, or finding a job, building your career, etc. So that's why I started, and it's been an amazing journey. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
If you guys don't know, you need to follow Craving Yellow. She's literally Craving Yellow everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, so you can follow her journey. And the reason I resonated with it is also because, for some of you who know, I also lived in the States for a good almost 10 years. And then I came back a while ago. Y'all don't need to know. So I resonated with her story. And for me, some of you may know how I began, but if you don't, I started playing with makeup in 2008.
And today's your anniversary.
And today, actually, the day we're shooting this is the anniversary, our 5-year anniversary with Bellesa Africa.
Congratulations.
I need to go out tonight.
You girl, get that wine in you.
I think I'm going to go out for a drink or something.
You should.
So yes, so today we're actually officially 5 years old with Bellesa Africa, but my journey actually began in 2008. And that's when I started playing with makeup officially. And for those of you who remember this far back, if you guys remember Stingo, if anyone ever remembers Stingo, Stingo was a project between me and a couple of my friends. We just said we want to create. So we had a shoot every day for 6 days.
Wow.
And we made some interesting arts. And that was the beginning of me thinking that I could do this online.
Yeah.
And after Stingo died, I began Bellesa Africa on YouTube, and one of the reasons I did it was because at the time I couldn't find any YouTube channel dedicated to women of color only of African descent based here in Africa, actually. So yeah, my goal at the time was to create content for African women or African or those of you who are descendant from Africa, which is pretty much every black person, every person of color, and then of course diversity, because I also didn't want to be in front of the camera at the time. I wanted to be behind the camera, and all you could see were my hands. And it took a lot of courage to take the step of being in front of the camera, doing a video. So 5 years later today, and we hit 100K about a month and a half ago.
Yes! I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you. Our questions over here, so I can keep going. All right, so our next question is, how did we grow our following? And maybe Tabitha, you go first.
Yeah, well, to be honest, how did I grow my following? I think the most important thing for me was identifying what my particular story was, because let's be real, there's so many YouTube channels there nowadays, so many people who are blogging about hair, blogging about makeup, you name it. But I think what really helped me stand out in the crowd was I really had a very particular story that I was telling, and it was my own story. So I never tried to role play, like, to be a YouTuber. I just was myself. And I think people authenticity, exactly. And I think people can always see that when they're watching you. I think also, to be honest, I had something unique because my hair is naturally not naturally, I've worked on it. It's quite long. So I think that was always the attracting factor. There aren't as many type 4 naturals with the length that I have. I have about almost 20 inches of natural hair now. So that was always a hope. That was always something that people would talk about and be like, oh my gosh, her hair is so long. So that's how so that's how it so I think it grew by word of mouth, but also because my content was authentic. So and it took time, and it's been like 2 years now, and I have about 43K on YouTube and like 83K on Instagram. So it's taken a while. It wasn't an overnight thing.
I agree a lot. Actually, I agree with everything that Tabitha said, because being authentic and sharing your voice is so unique, because there's no one else in the world like you. And so there is always going to be a group of people who are attracted to that about you. So there's no need to be someone else or to try to be what you think a YouTuber looks like or sounds like. In fact, both of us, if we could actually say this, we're not the typical YouTubers or Instagrammers, because as in, if you are black, if you're a woman, and then on top of that, if you're an African woman who is black,
oh Lord,
it is hard.
It's hard.
It is very hard.
Very few of us.
Very few of us. And so what we encourage you to do, or rather, let me answer the question from like, how did I get to where I am? Consistency is key. Please note that y'all by now should know that I am not the most consistent person, especially on YouTube. However, I have realized that consistency is one of the things that will build trust with your audience. The same way when you were growing up and you used to watch Wild Rose and Do the Rich Also Cry, and you knew every Saturday after news one of those shows was going to be on. And that is one of the ways that you can build trust with your viewers, is to just remain consistent. And then one other thing that I did that I feel got me to where I am is listening to your inner voice. And I know that sounds very personal development-y, but it is the truth. I had to go against what very many people were telling me at the time, which was that I wasn't going to be able to succeed online. And then also looking at your content, constantly improving on it, trying different things, different types of content, taking risks, which is actually funny enough. This is what I'm doing now. Like, for those of you watching this and wondering why there is no makeup video or makeup being happening, like, I should have been.
You should have been using my face now.
Well, actually, okay, guys, if you want to see me do her makeup, then let me know in the comment section below. Okay, thumbs up this video, comment below. Let me know if you want me to show you how I would do her makeup, and I'd love to do it if you guys want it. So the next question, we have 2 more questions. Then you can go and watch part 2 on
my channel,
on Craving Yellow's channel.
All right.
So when was the first time you realized you could monetize your content?
Yeah. So for me, to be honest, like I never started out in the blogging space thinking that I was gonna do this to make money, and I think that honestly was one of the strengths of my platforms, because what I worked on first was creating a very authentic voice and creating a readership and a followership and building sort of my brand persona online. I think that was the most important thing. You know, people think like you start a YouTube channel and money is just coming into your account. It doesn't work like that. It took me a lot of time, a lot of trial and error to make my first buck. But I will tell you the one thing that made me monetizable, if that's a word, is that I think brands could identify that I was a voice that people would listen to and actually want to buy things that I was using or the things that I was recommending. So even where I am now, I'm still making money off of the blog. I'm not completely self-sufficient. I've built a career in the corporate space off of the blog, but I wouldn't say that all my money comes directly from saying, hi guys, check out my bracelet, or check out this wig, or check out my, you know, my top, or etc. Yeah, Kandai, what do you think?
Well, my story is a little different, because when I began doing this, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And 5 years ago, it was very different. It was a lot more difficult to succeed than it is now. Funny enough, it took me 8 months from when I began to when I got to 100 subscribers.
Wow. 8 months.
It took 8 months, and then it took a further, I think, 2 years to get to 1,000 subscribers. So back then, back in the day, in 2012, being successful on YouTube was very difficult. But in terms of monetization, I remember the first check I got from YouTube. I was like, woo! So in that sense, it's really amazing, but it takes a lot of work. Don't get us wrong, it's not easy. By the time this video goes up, I think I would have shot almost 180 videos. I've been on YouTube for 5 years, and that's to me also still very little. I should be way further than that, just because of my schedule. So I wasn't there to make money at all. I was in school, I had a full-time job, so I was not making money at all. However, how I have grown in terms of money, in terms of income, it has come to a point where, yes, I am fully sustained by what I do online. And so it actually can happen, it actually can work. You just have to keep going, you cannot quit at all.
Trust the value of your brand as well.
Yes, exactly.
That's true.
That's so important, actually. You have to be the one to look at your content, and you can be swayed by especially if you're being swayed in terms of money and someone wants you to compromise your brand for an income. Try your best not to. It's never that serious. Our last question is that we have gotten a lot is what are some of the downsides to what we do online? So there are quite a number of downsides when it comes to being online, and I don't know, you go first. There are quite a number.
Well, I think most YouTubers do face to some extent, cyberbullying. It depends on, it varies from YouTuber to YouTuber. I luckily personally haven't experienced too much, to be honest. Only on one video that I did that people were like, oh, it went downhill. Anyway, you can check my channel for that. I'm gonna give you some homework. It was not when I straightened my hair and people were like, why did you let a white woman touch your hair?
And so they came after you instead of
the fact that I let somebody who was not black touch my hair. People were making really catty comments about the stylist who was doing my hair, which I didn't appreciate. But how
that
I
video got views,
but it has almost 800,000, 750,000, almost close to 1 million views right now. So I'm like, hey, bring on the views.
Bring on the critics, it's cool.
Bring on the critics, bring on more subscribers to my channel. But the way that I dealt with that is just to be authentic. I was like, yeah, look guys, she didn't do the best job with my hair, but she's a human being like the rest of us, and I don't really see those racial lines the way that some of my viewers may see the racial lines. But I think what I've learned is just to keep it going. Like there's so many other bits of content that I produce that get so much more feedback and so many more views and comments, etc. So you can't always focus on the negative sides, and the negative sides will be there. But I think it's just realizing that that's just part of the trade.
I agree with you. I agree with that. I remember when I got the first instances of cyberbullying to the point where it actually affected me. It's happened for a very long time. Where back then I used to always respond in love, like literally in love. I used to respond by saying, thank you guys, I really appreciate. People like, they cuss me out and I just respond by saying, oh my god, you're so sweet to have said something. Go back to my earlier videos, you will see that. But let me tell you something. Last year I was just like, you know what, I am done. I'm done being cute, I'm done being nice, because some of these comments are really inappropriate. And so I had to be very, very strong, first of all, because there was a time when it got to me. And for some of you know, I already put up a video about that. I'll link it up here.
Yeah.
I put up a video about haters and trolls and all of that, and it really affected me at the time. But what I realized, and it has actually fueled how I shoot my content and what I say these days, is just again to be my authentic self. And another thing that we have both experienced, and we were talking about this before, is one of the challenges we have had is the easiest way to say it is just the recognition.
Yeah.
There's good things and slightly creepy things about it.
Yes.
Being recognized in public, I get that a lot. For example, I went out with some of my friends, but I sat with people who knew me and were flipping out. And I'm not used to that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think about that.
I think it's true. I feel like with when you're a social media personality, people think that they... Like you're always
that they can touch your hair.
And then they can touch my hair. Oh my gosh, the number of people who are like, can I touch your hair? I'm like, no, I'm not out there trying to touch your thighs or touch your... I'm not touching nothing of yours. So yeah, if you're touching something of mine, I need to touch something of yours as well. How about that? You know, so that's for me is the biggest thing. Can I touch your hair? But I think sometimes it can get overwhelming. That's the truth. Because sometimes you just want to be chill and normal and you don't want to have to be like always switched on.
Yes.
So I think it's something we're both learning to adjust to, and it's a positive as much as it can be a negative.
Yes, exactly.
So we're not out here saying, oh, we're so famous, like it's exhausting. No, that's not the vibe. It's just that sometimes you want to be human. Sometimes you're just having a low day. Sometimes you're on your periods, God forbid I say that out loud, and you're just not feeling it, you know. So if you see me out there and I'm like hi Craving, I'm just like hi.
Just don't take it badly.
Don't take it personally.
But no,
it's we're human as well.
Yes, that's true.
We're human as well. And so
we have gotten to the end of this video. If you want to watch the next part, there's a second part to this video, then definitely go over to Tabitha's channel, Craving Yellow, and you'll find all the details in the description box below. So also subscribe to our channel, definitely do. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. All that is at Bellesa Africa. And to watch our last video, it's somewhere here, and to subscribe, would somewhere be here as well.
Yay!
All right. So until I see you guys next time.
Bye.